Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. You already know what it is. We back with another one of them things. Listen, we got breaking news to discuss right now. Mike Brown has been dismissed, fired. You understand? He is getting kicked up out of Sacramento. It's kind of crazy how all this is transpired. You know, a lot of big time speculation has occurred involving Deaaron Fox. Is no coincidence that all of these things have occurred. You know, Mike Brown came in to be the savior. You know, I thought that he was doing some decent things. You know, they almost took down the Golden State Warriors. We're going to get into it all, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV. We got breaking news to discuss right now, man. We're going to get into it, man. Mike Brown, man, you know, this 5-game losing streak, man, just couldn't, you know, rear his ugly head. But nonetheless, man, he's done. And the Sacramento Kings are 12th right now in the Western Conference. By the looks of things, they made a big time major move anyway when they got DeMar DeRozan. This team was supposed to compete. DeMar came in to be almost like that next piece for this basketball team to take them to the next level. But the Western Conference is an animal. You know, you had a lot of teams, you know, coming for their spots, you know, this season. A lot of people didn't. I think a lot of people underestimated what was going to take place in the NBA, you know, this year, especially out West. You know, the East is crazy, but, you know, when you're talking about teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, you know, the emergence of the Houston Rockets, you know, they kind of leave teams like Sacramento, New Orleans. They kind of either they're going to put up or shut up. They could be left in the dust. And that's what has happened. You know, a lot of these teams got left in the dust. And Sacramento is one of them. And they have put Mike Brown in the dust, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the Sacramento Kings are making a coaching change. This is being reported all over the goddamn place, y'all. Make sure you turn your antennas up because the Kings are parting ways. I repeat, this breaking news with head coach Mike Brown following 2.5 seasons with the franchise. Brown finishes his time in Sacramento with 107-88 overall record. The Kings right now are 13-18. You know, so this is sad. You know what has happened to the Sacramento Kings. How can they salvage their season? I'm pretty sure that's how they're thinking. You know, I really believe that they really need to go in reversal. You know, let go of everybody. You know, you getting DeMar DeRozan in here. Like I said, he's still kind of reeling off of the Chicago situation. Like I said, they brought him in here. I guess he thought they was going to be like how he was that first year in Chicago. You know, it didn't go according to plan. You have to move on now. You know, you go full-fledged, Cooper Flag. You go after Ace Bailey. You know, it's Sacramento at the end of the day. You got Keegan out there. You got pieces, you know, that you could use, you know, in the future, you know, and put your hat in that race because this right here, man, is going to be an uphill battle. it's truly messed up what happened to Mike Brown, because I felt like he never really got his due diligence or credit, for coaching LeBron James. A lot of people forget, LeBron being coached by Mike Brown, going to the finals. LeBron don't pay no homage to Mike Brown. Is not really good at all. I just got to keep it all the way real with you. It's really sad, what has happened. But we do have a coaching change right in the middle of the season, y'all. Smack dead, right after the holidays. What are the Kings gonna do? You got to let go of De'Aaron Fox, man. He is the biggest trade chip you got. You also got Sabonis there. There's avenues, to move in. Shout out Stacy Van Dever. He says, but Willie Green, you never know what could happen with Willie Green. Willie Green could be next on the chopping block. It's unfortunate if Willie Green gets swapped out of this, because you do got to understand, I think if Willie gets fired, I think that you moving on from the situation, basically it's just messed up. Like, you gotta move on. It don't make sense keeping him around if you're gonna let go of Zion, you're gonna let go of Ingram, you thinking about letting go of CJ. I mean, what the hell? At this point, bring in a young coach, because you're bringing in younger players, to pair them with some of the younger talent you already have there. New Orleans got pieces. We'll get to New Orleans in a second. But there will be more coaches to be fired. I don't believe Sacramento is a good destination, to be honest with you. I really don't. I think they're in a dead end situation. I don't think they're in no position to compete for a championship. I don't give a damn what the hell they do. They don't have really much. Like I said, if they move on from Fox, that is their only piece. They get a couple of first rounders, maybe get some talent to round out. And just get ready for the draft. Get ready to lose, because they've been losing. So just continue to keep moving with that. The Sacramento Kings, man, they have always been the afterthought, in California. Especially with the emergence of the Golden State Warriors throughout the years. They just been doing Sacktown dirty. Nobody cares about what's going on there. They did have that little spark. I thought that they was going to be able to, stay consistent, but obviously that didn't work. They got to make decisions, yo. Who's coming in? Who's the coach who will want to take this job? Who the hell do you think will come in and fix this? I believe absolutely nobody. Like I said, Sacramento's in a messed up situation. Shout out to DeMarcus Cousins. That was they one of their best shots. But that's a whole nother situation. That's just the luck of Sacramento. You got to think about it. DeMarcus ain't work out. You couldn't put the pieces around him. I don't believe that they thoroughly put the pieces around these guys that they had here. You got Sabonis, you got Fox. I don't know how, if they're superstars, but they're star players. You bring in DeMar DeRozan. Was he the right piece? Was he the only piece that they could acquire? Mario says that Fox in. Well, we just don't know that just yet, y'all. Right now you got a whole influx of change that is taking place right now in Sacramento. You don't know what the hell is about to take place. There's no coach. Obviously they abandoned him anyway. They quit on this guy. Things was just not going well. And like I said, you bring in a DeMar DeRozan. This guy's got a strong personality. None of these guys in Sacramento ain't win no championships. You understand? So who's to say DeMar ain't come in here and just muck things up a little bit? He wasn't feeling Mike Brown. Because it's just ironic to me that he came in. I think he started the bell, I think, in practice. It was a big thing going on when Mike Brown took over. He had a hell of a good. Was this guy? Didn't he win the Coach of the Year, if I'm not mistaken? Mike Brown was one hell of a good coach out there in Sacramento, man. So I'm starting to really just pinpoint what the hell is going on. What happened there? Something went on. Todd Packer says keep Sabonis, Keegan Carter, then tank. Hey, that very well could be a possibility. I listen, man. This is gonna be a tough call. At this point, man, if I'm Sacramento, I'm looking into the future. I'm not trying to salvage these pieces you have. You have Keegan. It's time to move. You could probably get a haul, when you acquire, Sabonis, and when you put up Fox, you put those two on the block. If you talking, like I said, these guys by default, they enter in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. And how the Western Conference is, you ain't gonna get back. You fall out, you're gonna be playing catch up forever. The season is just about over. Shout out to my man Basil Carpenter Jr. We're in the building. We got breaking news, y'all. Mike Brown, has been dismissed, by the Sacramento Kings. I want to get back to when he first took over this goddamn job. You understand? This guy in practice, he completely revitalized and shook up the joint. He started to lighten the beam wave that was going on. We got to pay him. Mike Brown ain't never got the respect that he ever deserved, y'all. Like I said, LeBron shitted on him, and now he got shitted on by the Sacramento. Something went on how he just got this. They couldn't get a man to the. Like I said, when you got Rich Paul is a motherfucker. Excuse my language. I know we're in the middle of holiday season. But Rich Paul is something else, ladies and gentlemen. He is something else. Don't be surprised. I just told you LeBron never paid the homage to Mr. Mike Brown. Now Rich Paul done took over. You understand? He done took over business for De'Aaron Fox. You don't think that all of this stuff is just happening just by coincidence? Now Fox name been in trade rumors just back to back to back to back. Every day you wake up is a new goddamn team for De'Aaron Fox. Expect things to intensify now that there's no coach at the helm. And don't be surprised if they got an interim to the end of the goddamn season. You don't know who's taking over. Seriously, who are they bringing in? Whoever comes in mid-season, I think, is at a disadvantage. You've seen what happened. Doc Rivers came in, they didn't pay the homage to him. Why come in and everybody gonna leave anyway? You gotta think about if you're a coach. You coming into the damn job and everybody just gotta get traded. What's the outlook? The outlook clearly is maybe you get the number 1 pick, number 2, top 5. They saying this is a deep draft. If you the Kings, you go all in. Go for Cooper Flag in them. Let go of Fox. At the very least, you got a bunch of first rounders. You're gonna, I'm telling you, if they move on from Fox and Sabonis, I think they could get an equivalent to, I'm gonna say about 6, maybe 5 to 6 first rounders. With those two together. Maybe I don't know if they're gonna end up hijacking somebody for Fox. Maybe they're gonna get somebody to, do something crazy. Look at what's going on with Houston. You got a lot of teams that's percolating. Houston and Fox, but their name is just going. Houston gonna get somebody. I don't know who it's gonna be. Butler is gonna be Fox. There's somebody going to Houston. I don't know. I'm point. Remember, I said that here at Flight Sports. Somebody going to Houston. Now back to the Western Conference, to where the Sacramento Kings are at a serious disadvantage, man. Because like I told you, you had a lot of teams coming for their spots. I want to get back to the Houston Rockets and the Memphis Grizzlies, who they both occupy the 2 and the 3. Memphis, Ja went through a whole bunch of BS, the off the court issues, the injuries. Now he's good. You understand? Now they back to reclaim their position in the Western Conference. They very well could go back to number 2 like they was when he was healthy. So that messed everything up. Look what's going on with Minnesota. Minnesota, they scratching and clawing to get in there. So nobody's going to be feeling sorry for Sacramento. Look at what's going on with Wemby. They didn't bring Chris Paul in for nothing. You understand? Chris Paul was brought in, to take things up a notch, and get them to where they need to get to. Now, I don't know if that's going to necessarily take place, but we don't know. But bottom line is the Kings making the postseason is not a very likely chance to take place. I'm just keeping it all the way 100 with you. back to De'Aaron Fox, because this is, I think, the biggest domino. I think this is the reason why a lot of things just are going haywire, because Fox and Rich Paul, have clicked up, and they about to run roughshod in Sacktown, and expect Rich Paul to get his client up out of there. De'Aaron Fox this season is averaging 26 points per game, shooting 48% from the field, 33% from three, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal. So he's doing all this in 37 minutes. So I mean that's not bad numbers. For De'Aaron Fox. I would like for him to be coached maybe by a championship basketball team. Maybe I would, like I said, you look at Ime Udoka, if he was to go out there, to Houston, Ime was in a position in Boston where they was right there, so give him another opportunity. You see it took him a little bit of time, but look what he's doing in Houston. So we have to show him some level of respect, that he's doing this. This is big business, what's going on right now. But we the Sacramento Kings they just got to figure things out. They really do, and this is the steps that has to be taken to get there. You got to move on. If you were in the Kings organization, what the hell would you do? Are you hiring a young coach? Because clearly the team is looking like they're headed for a rebuild. Because we got to look at the history. I know I may be coming off as a guy that's maybe a Debbie Downer. I'm telling you things that you may not want to hear in terms of it's looking like it's going to crumble for Sacramento. But you just got to look at the history of Rich Paul clients. How many of them stay on the burning ship where the coach done got fired and they stayed and everything was just happy? Rich Paul is looking to get his client up out of there, maybe to a bigger market. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe Golden State said they want to get somebody. You hearing things with the Lakers. The Lakers is looking to get in the mix for some of these guys. So you got a lot of players that possibly, could be very attractive, attractable to some of these teams. And Fox name is right there. Where's Fox going to go? Because this is a major impact. Just today, the trade suitors for Fox was reported. The Houston Rockets, I repeat, and the San Antonio Spurs, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Miami Heat are the potential destinations for De'Aaron Fox. Where are these reports coming from? Who putting this shit out? It's Mr. Rich Paul and Clutch Sports. You see the Lakers name is in there. You understand? You don't think that he ain't doing big business for Mr. LeBron now. You understand? We're gonna have to put this into perspective. You understand? Is Fox needs to resign. Don't be a small fish somewhere. Hey, listen, you put Fox, you put him in LA. You could say small fish. Anything he do in LA is going to be like on another level. You put him with LeBron and AD. You thought that he was good with Sabonis. You understand? You seen the level AD been balling at. So you put him with now. You talking about a whole nother situation, and you in La La Land. You understand? So I like that situation for De'Aaron Fox. I want to see Fox in LA. Miami. You talking about in that system, in that culture. You got to think they got to do something. Miami. Because like I said, somebody's going to be on the move. It's going to be a major star move. By this deadline. And the deadline is like literally. We ain't too far away. So we're going to get numerous moves, but there will be a star, maybe stars on the move, especially if teams can't get it right. Trae Young name was out there. I like Trae Young for LA, but I think that Trae Young and Atlanta, they figured things out, and he likes Atlanta, and he's not really going too crazy. So I think Trae may be a keeper, and you got to look to some of these other guys. You got Riley and you got Spoelstra coming out clamoring that they're going to keep Jimmy Butler, but there where smoke is fire, the damage to me has already been done, so that's going to lead to major situations taking place. Jake Simpson says the Lakers need a center bad. A lot of teams need a center. I would have liked to see somebody, next to Sabonis, who could, protect him a little bit, alleviate some of the pressures off of Sabonis. For them to get an elite center, maybe off the bench or something something, but they didn't do that. They went all in, for DeMar. But it is what it is at the end of the day, man. DeMar DeRozan was not the answer for this basketball team. I really believe DeMar DeRozan is possibly he led to. I hate to say this, but I think that something went on, because how did they just move this guy? I want to rewind, like I said, the lighting of the beam. All of this came under Mike Brown. Sacramento didn't have no culture. They didn't have nothing going for themselves. In practice, this guy would like ring the cowbell. I forgot when he would do it for. It was for something. I think it was for some defensive situation that they would do. But he had all of these different, things, and that possibly is going to live on. I could see that beam sticking around, where they saying light the beam, and that led to a lot of wins. We got to stop acting like they didn't push Steph Curry in them to 7 games. They put that was a crazy series. So we gotta have to figure out what's going on, y'all. Because it's a lot of things percolating right now. In the NBA. It is a report right now that Jimmy Butler is out for the next 2 games. So we don't know what's gonna happen. But can they rewrite the wrong? Where does the Sacramento Kings go from here? Because you in the loaded Western Conference, how in the hell are they going to be able to get in the pack with these teams? Because everybody is running it up. The Clippers right now, they 7th in the West, and Kawhi is on his way back. That's a major impact to the Sacramento Kings, who's looking to, do some things that they're not going to be able to accomplish. The only thing I would say, if I am the Sacramento Kings, is to just rebuild the basketball team, man. I think that, when you look at the players that you have on your roster that you could possibly pair, let's say, God willing, you get the number 1 pick, then just move every goddamn thing. But you look at a guy like Keegan Murray, I think that you pair him with somebody else and you figure it out. Malik Monk, what the hell do you do with these guys? Because if you're moving on from Fox, that's dominoes everywhere. You understand? So now you're talking, if you're moving from Fox, you're moving on from Monk, obviously Sabonis, possibly with one out. What do you do with these guys? Jay Crowder, these guys, they just didn't work out, for them. They're going to have to do something. Because this is not if I'm a coach, I'm not, the roster don't look right. I'm not jumping at this job. I may let this go. This is the kind of job I might let go to somebody else. I may not want to take over this one because I don't see the pathway to success unless you get the number 1 pick or the 2nd pick. But what if you get the 5th? This draft is so sporadic. It really doesn't. It don't mean nothing to tank. Like, it's not like the good old days where you were the Philadelphia 76ers and you just said, mess it, I'm just going to lose every damn game. I'm going to get a top pick. You could lose every game for the rest of the year and still not get the number 1 pick. That's how tricky the draft is. They got all of these different things that they put in place, to where a team out of nowhere swoops into the top 3, a team we had no knowledge of. They love stuff like that. It can never go according to plan. It's always got to be some crazy thing. And with this major draft, you got a lot of teams who need that pick. You think Sacramento needed. Did you look at what's going on with Charlotte? You understand? Have you looked at what's going on with some of these other teams? Washington, nobody's feeling sorry for Sacramento. So they're going to have to, not only if they're going to move on, they got to bring in some return. They're going to have to bring in some players along with some of these picks when they move on from Fox. They're going to have to bring in some younger talent, some other pieces to round out, because if you're going to build around Keegan Murray and whoever the hell else is coming in, that's what I would do, because this is a dead end situation. Y'all not going nowhere, even if they were to salvage themselves to the play-in, they more than likely going to get eliminated in the play-in, or it's just, or they're going to get annihilated in the first round. These are the two resorts, that's going to take place if you're the Sacramento Kings. Mike Brown has been fired, ladies and gentlemen. We got breaking news in the NBA. Sacramento, they making big time decisions, with their franchise. Who could blame them? Things have not gone according to plan. But I just wish that Mike Brown could have got, a little bit more, at the very least, he's going back to Golden State, to sit next to Steve Kerr. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up there probably, tomorrow. That I'm pretty sure he has a job. I wouldn't be surprised if Steve Kerr announced that sometime whenever he gets a microphone put in his face. Pause. I remember you heard that here first at Flight Sports. Don't be surprised you just see him back on the bench, with Golden State. And I'm pretty sure Golden State would be happy to have him, because they act like they ain't want him to go. Shout out to Chuck Morris. He said, glad to tune in with my new phone. Lord. Shout out to my man Chuck Morris, man, with his new phone. It's Flight Sports, man. We got breaking news, man. Mike Brown is on his way out. De'Aaron Fox, his name is running rampant all over, the airways right now. It's breaking news. We could hear news breaking on De'Aaron Fox literally in seconds, minutes, hours. That's how it could happen. And if you Rich Paul, why not do it now? Why not, push the organization? You don't have a coach. It just looks like it's just in disarray. The Kings look a damn mess. I'm just from an outsider looking in. If you Rich Paul, you trying to get your client the hell up out of there. I'm telling Rich Paul is going to get his client the hell up out of Sacramento. Remember, I told you that, and this is a perfect time to do it, and then I'm pretty sure they're going to push him to Los Angeles. How do they do that? You got a lot of teams. Pardon me. Look at Austin Reeves. The Los Angeles Lakers have played well against a lot of teams. You got a lot of these other, maybe you got guys like Rui Hachimura. You got Reeves. Reeves is a young guy who could, possibly fit with a Keegan Murray who could shoot. You see where I'm going with this? If you Sacramento, obviously, if you in the good old days, why in the hell would you send him to Los Angeles? Listen, Fox ain't been nothing but a good Samaritan for you. You never really gave him no championship level basketball team. Send this guy to go win a ring. The Kings are clearly going to be headed for a rebuild, so they're not going to be competing for a while. So LeBron is going to retire possibly whenever. So whenever the Kings eventually figure it out, the Lakers should be pretty much wrapping things up. LeBron probably be long gone, and Fox and AD will be on their decline. So I don't see a bad move there, because you bringing in Reeves. I like the shooting. In this NBA, you need shooting. I'll try to go after whoever you can get. Like I said, you got Rui Hachimura there for Los Angeles. You got Dalton Connect. They got the pieces to pull this thing off. And I'm hearing that the Lakers got 3 first rounders that they looking to move if necessary. So they're going to end up with something, especially if they talking them first rounders. Them first rounders going to make a team just go crazy. You're going to see something go down behind this. I just got to keep it all the way real with you. But who's surprised that, this move happened? I don't think anybody is. The move had to take place. It was too much trade rumors. Not only the losing mount, you had epic losing, going on for Sacramento. Then, you have Fox every day. You got Rich Paul putting out reports. I'm gonna let you know who the hell is doing it. Because Rich Paul, he didn't sign with Clutch Sports for nothing. For him to get with Clutch Sports, and now, his name is in every goddamn trip. This is pretty much what Rich Paul, you know, this is what he does. He comes in here and screws up the organizations, and he demands his stars out or gets them highly paid, which, is good, but I do think that he specialized in getting superstars the hell up out of town. I think that's one of his specialties. I really do. We're gonna have to find out how they do this. We really are. We're gonna really have to figure out how the hell they pull this shit off, man, for the Sacramento Kings, because I think that they're finished. Let's get to the comment section. Stacy says Brooklyn can get Fox if they want. Part of me said Brooklyn could get Fox if they want, but he wants to be in a win now situation and he won't extend with Brooklyn. We're gonna find out. Sammy talking about he gonna miss Mike Brown. Wow. He said this was an emotional move by the owner, GMs, etc. Mike Brown was a good coach. I wish him the best. He took Sacramento out of the playoff drought year one. I can agree with that. That's why I'm saying I'm happy that you acknowledged that. I was saying that early on. Mike Brown has always been a coach that has been an afterthought. When you think of LeBron coaches, you think of maybe Tyronn Lue, Spoelstra. You don't even think about the guy who took him to the finals first. It was Mike Brown. They took down the mighty Detroit Pistons with Mike Brown. Now those Cleveland teams don't get enough respect. Mo Williams, Delonte, Verajao, and them dude. That was some talent that he put together. Ilgauskas and them. They did good until they went up against another heavyweight. But they was beating teams down. They had like the #1 record. They was doing some things. Let's stop acting like I don't know if they won 60-something games. They won a whole bunch of games one year, the Cavaliers. So it's messed up, but he did take them there. He started the beam, and that led to a lot of wins when he started that. He started the cowbells at practice, like I let people know. All of these things possibly, man, I don't know about the cowbells in the practice, but I'm pretty sure that beam is going to stick around, lighting the beam, and that's something that they started. The chains in the locker room, all of these, that was some culture. The Kings didn't have no culture, before Mike Brown got there. He established a little bit of culture coming from, I could see, because watching Mike Brown through the years, I remember when he coached Cleveland again after, I'm not sure if he coached Kyrie for a little while, but I do remember him coaching the Cavaliers, when they, after LeBron, and he didn't do well, and he had to go sit under, Steve Kerr. And then I could see the development that Steve Kerr was rubbing off on him. Pause. I could see that he was learning. He was starting to elevate his coaching game, And then when he came to Sacramento, it looked like he finally figured it out, like he was going to find a home, But, Rich Paul and them got in the mix, and they didn't elevate from that first round. And it's the mighty Western Conference is a beast. You built on Fox and Sabonis, for crying out loud. That's your franchise cornerstones. I don't know what you do, from here. Do you move Sabonis? I mean, they ain't gonna move none of their younger talent. There's a way to possibly I'm pretty sure Rich Paul is demanding bring in another superstar or trade him or some craziness like that. I would like Fox in San Antonio. That'd be a major move. And Fox ended up in San Antonio, because you're talking about, Victor Wembanyama. That's major. If he can end up out there. So I like all of the teams that's being reported for De'Aaron Fox. I think that De'Aaron Fox he's going to be a hot commodity, especially now. Make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports, because we're going to be bringing a lot of news, major updates involving this situation and trade involving De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings. Mike Brown was just dismissed, y'all. In the middle of the season, he couldn't get the respect of just getting to the end of the year. It was that bad. I really don't understand. Why did this happen? I just got to keep it real with you. It was a real messed up situation um, that this happened. It's crazy. Mike Brown won the Coach of the Year award twice, y'all, back in 2009 and 2023. That's why I want to let you know this guy Mike Brown was the Coach of the Year. For the Sacramento Kings. This is a travesty. We just got. Seriously, when you really analyze how it all went down, this Mike Brown just got shitted on. Seriously. And I doubt he's gonna get another job for a very long time. It's gonna happen like that because they're gonna blame him for all of this, especially if the Kings end up in smokes. What I'm predicting everybody to leave. Kenny says bring Monk off the bench for the Wolves. He can play. Yeah, it's gonna be a fire sale. It's gonna be a fire sale. So every team get their pick in this shit. If you're a Wolves fan, start picking out who the hell you want. Who gonna get DeRozan? Somebody gonna get somebody for the cheap. So start moving on. Because once you move on from Fox, you're moving on from everybody. Because they came there. Do you think that DeMar pushed to come to this team? For all of this shit, he could have stayed in Chicago. I bet the Bulls looking like, damn, you see what's going on? You see Zach, he percolating without this dude. Zach couldn't do nothing with DeMar DeRozan. It was like DeMar was just zapping everything, and now the Bulls right now, they 10th right now in the East, 13 and 18. They still doing it. They could have did that with DeMar, just might as well get rid of his ass, and they've done that. And the Bulls very well could rise up, get into the thick of things in the Eastern Conference very well. It's a long season. So I say that to say, how the hell did DeMar DeRozan come to Sacramento and the team is this bad? How are you losing like this? Seriously, these things have to go. We have to put this into proper perspective. You losing to the Indiana Pacers. You losing to the Detroit Pistons. You had the Lakers just walk you down. The Denver Nuggets. You just losing way too much. The Kings is just they got to get it together. You losing to Portland. These teams hurt you. All of this is going to hurt you, and you see it happening firsthand. Ty Packer says fire sale in Sacramento. It is a fire sale officially. It will be, but before the fire sale occurs, I think we need one of the dominoes to fall, and I believe the first domino is probably going to be De'Aaron Fox, because you got Rich Paul. Rich Paul is there, and like I said, everybody's going. Wherever Fox go, we'll start to figure it out. I think that's where we need to start thinking. Obviously people want him with San Antonio. I want him in LA. So it's crazy. It said Fox is 27. Yeah, so this is around the time, where it's time to win and things like that. You fire your agent, and then now all of this. Is this crazy? Did they predict this to happen? But if you're looking at the West, it's hard. The Western Conference, man, is just a beast, man. How do they break through? There's no breakthrough for these guys. These guys gonna have to put up or shut up or just get put out. It's just how it's gonna be. For the Sacramento Kings, y'all. They're gonna let me know what y'all think is gonna happen. With the two major cornerstones and Fox and Sabonis, because that's the franchise. Right now, they ain't got no coach, so now we go to the two cornerstones. What the hell are they going to do with these guys? What's going to happen? Something got to give. You understand? Something got to give, y'all. You understand? And, so fire. They done got this man fired, man. They couldn't. You lost to Portland, y'all. Damn, they are that bad. Something tells me they're not that bad. And I'm pretty sure that's what ownership is going to be trying to preach. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to bring in a major coach, Because we was just talking about Portland. Let's take a walk down memory lane. It was a situation going on with Damian Lillard. Y'all remember his name was, percolating and stuff like that. They went and hired Chauncey Billups. Now that kind of prolonged things a little bit, because you wanted to see Chauncey there, coached by Lillard. You wanted to just see how that would work. Point guard, great point guard coaching a superstar point guard. It's crazy. How that thing could have worked out. Are the Kings gonna pull something like that? Are they gonna pull him? They ain't gonna bring. I hate to say his name, but Mark Jackson. I hate that they throw Mark Jackson name out for fun. They have no intentions on hiring Mark Jackson. They use Mark Jackson name. It's just messed up how they did Mark Jackson. But a situation like that, what if they were to hire Mark Jackson? I think that may slow things down a little bit. Right now the Kings need a leader. They need somebody who's gonna step up to the podium. And that's what I'm saying. If they're gonna rebuild, you bring in you just ride this season out with an interim and trade everybody. But if they bring in now I want to say a Thibodeau level coach. I'm trying to think of who may be out there, who could come in there and really. Monty, he did he was so filthy in Detroit. Ain't nobody gonna listen to Monty no more. Somebody talking about Darvin Ham. Oh hell, maybe Darvin Ham ain't gonna really. They need something stronger than Darvin Ham. Steve Nash, they're gonna walk on Steve Nash. Hey, come on, we got to get a real coach. We got to get somebody who's gonna step up to the podium. It's Jeff Van Gundy, possibly. There we go. Now we talking with Van Gundy. That's something like that. Not Stan Van Gundy. But maybe a Jeff Van Gundy. He ain't gonna take this job though. Now you gotta understand that he ain't taking this job. He had a lot of jobs he could have took. You think he gonna take the Kings job? But they got to get a top level coach that's out there who could come in and just command the whole organization. Who could come in there and speak for everybody. The president, Vladdy. Nobody got to come out and talk. You understand? Nobody. Only this guy, only him. You understand? The coach, he'll come out. Nobody has to come out and speak for the Kings, because you can't have, Fox speaking because the fans already know he out the door, and who else you go? I'm pretty sure the fans getting upset with DeMar DeRozan, so you can't have him talk. He just got there. How the hell he gonna speak for the organization? So it's just a mess. Somebody said Borrego. See, Borrego's not the guy who they need. I think they need something more than that. Van Diver says Denver, but Murray cap hit is way too high. Look, Denver has to downsize on the cap table. Denver is second apron for years to come. Good call there. There's a lot of names. I'm just thinking about potential coaches. Throw out some coaches out there for me who could come in there and hold it down. I don't know if Mike D'Antoni ever want to coach again, but I think D'Antoni might be able to come in there. Yeah, shout out to Marquez. I think D'Antoni could come in there possibly and do something. I like Mike D'Antoni in there. Believe it or not, because I don't see it. I don't think about. I know they ain't gonna hire Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson to come in here and shut all this shit down and get this organization moving accordingly, and then they ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. He may even slow down all this trade rumors and get people in position. Sammy says Sam Cassell. That's a first time coach. Shout out to Sam Cassell. I don't want to mess up Sam Cassell. I think Sam Cassell will be good if they go into the full rebuild. But I'm talking about right now bringing in a coach to possibly salvage what they got going on. I think, like I said, Sam Cassell to me would be perfect for the rebuild. Perfect. To coach Keegan and to give him time instead of coming into this situation where everybody gonna be out the door anyway. It's just gonna be an all-out mess. You want to just have time. For these first-year coaches. Because you don't want him to come in and they expecting everything. And he's getting blamed for all of it. Stacy says the French assistant coach from Memphis is the best available coach. I wouldn't go with a no name. You got to get a brand name in there. This is Sacramento. You understand? You got to get somebody in here, like I said, who gonna be able to talk for the whole organization, the city. I just don't think that the French assistant. Maybe he might be a good damn basketball coach, but they got to get somebody. You understand? Look what's going on with New York. You don't ever hear Leon Rose come out, do you? You don't hear? You ever hear Worldwide West and these guys? They don't talk. You remember the old days of Knicks when you seen all these dudes talking? You don't ever hear no more about Jim Dolan, and when you get a brand name in there, and we got breaking news, y'all. Doug Christie, is expected to make the new interim. He's gonna be the new interim head coach, Doug Christie. So everybody know who Doug Christie is, So we do got breaking news that Doug Christie will take over, for these guys. I grew up watching Doug Christie play. He's a Sacramento King, but he's just the interim, and I don't know if they got him at the helm, they about to lose a whole lot of games. That's all I could let you know. If he's gonna be there, they about to lose a lot. They gonna have to hire a coach. That's gonna tell you it all. If they keep Doug Christie in there, I just think that they're gonna lose a lot. And the way the West is set up, they're in trouble. They're in serious trouble, y'all. They 13-18. This is bad. Tomorrow they play the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers, they're gonna be looking to roll on them. So the Lakers coming off that wild win, on Christmas Day. So it's gonna be one of those. Point blank period. I just don't see how the Los Angeles Lakers are gonna fall to the Kings. And they at home. The Lakers at home. Then they got Dallas coming to town. Then Philly. Then Memphis. Then go. Oh man, this thing could get spooky. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm looking at what they got coming on the horizon. You might want to go hire somebody real quick. Who can hold it down. So what's your DeMar? DeMar, I think that you got to wait for what's gonna happen with you're gonna have to wait for what goes on with Fox. Fox is gonna tell it all. You can't move on nothing until we hear from Fox. We can't just move on from Deaaron Fox. You can't move DeMar until you figure out what Fox want to do. If Fox want to stay, which I doubt it. You don't hire Rich Paul to stay. He already got paid. So I mean, he got the shoe deal going with Curry. Could he end up in Golden State? I mean, I don't know. What would Rich Paul gonna do? Somebody got to come to LA. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of Rich Paul clients, they don't go to LA. When is Rich Paul gonna bring one of his clients to LeBron? A good client. Obviously, he brought a whole team full. Before. Obviously, you seen what he did with AD. We got to just see what happens with Fox. Is Fox the needle mover? I really want LA to get Trae Young, like I said earlier. Trae Young, to me, would take LA, I think, to the championship level. Because then you got that guy who's going to perform in the playoffs. You don't really know what Fox is going to do in the playoffs. We've seen him before a little bit. But Trae Young, he got that spark. He got that, he like Jimmy almost in the playoffs, like it's to a degree. If he had a better team, he might have got to the finals that year when they went up against Milwaukee in the conference finals. He got a little switch when it come playoff time. And I think the Lakers could have really benefited off that. Somebody says, y'all remember he fired Mike Malone for winning games? Yeah, I mean, this is crazy what's going on here. The Kings have always been just a messed up organization, always have been, especially after the Weber days, the Mike Bibby. I just felt like the Kings never could really get it together. The DeMarcus Cousins, the team was trash. DeMarcus was a problem. We just got to keep it real. I was watching them Kings games. I liked Rudy Gay at the time. Rudy was a problem. I remember when they got Rondo. It was one year where they tried to do something, they still was trash. I remember when they had Ben McLemore. Come on now, yeah, the Kings had a squad back in the day, a little young team. They was a fun team to watch, But I thought they was gonna compete that year when they got Rondo. They never figured it out. It was all messed up. But DeMarcus is a beast, man. Stacy says if I was LA, I would get Walker Kessler and Colin Sexton. Let's see if they could get that. That's not bad. It's not a bad pickup. We don't know yet what Sexton gonna do deep in the playoffs. I like to get. We don't know. But Sexton that'll be better than what they got for sure. But if they could get I'd rather take Fox over those two. But they look all right though. The Lakers got options. What they're gonna do. So Spreewell and Weber. The Kings gotta rewrite some wrongs. And they gotta get their situation back on track. Man, let's see if they could do that. Like I said, let's get in the comment section and let me know what the hell are the Kings gonna do? How are they going to rewrite this wrong, or is this thing headed for just crumbles? Is everything about to go to ashes? That's the question. That's the $1 million question I want to ask you. Kenny says you think Fox was involved in Mike Brown getting. I believe that DeMar may have been involved in it. So I mean, Fox had to be. I don't know. Like I said, when you got a bunch of losing, you got a new piece like DeMar rolling in. That's a lot going on. Then, like I said, you got new representation that came into place. De'Aaron Fox, he got the new shoe deal. With Curry, he may want to be in a different market. When you get new representation and you getting endorsements and Sacramento playing on the team that's losing a bunch of games and not looking like they're gonna compete, them shoes might fly off the shelf if he played in LA. Them shoes might pop up all over if he played in Miami. So you gotta think about stuff like that. I don't know. I think his best shot at possibly getting to the finals could be going to LA. In the East, we don't know just yet. Boston, they don't know what the stranglehold they might have on the East. We just don't know. Sammy says Fox in Miami would be big time. Yes, because you put him in that culture, that Heat culture. That's the big time thing situation right there. He hasn't played in nothing like that. If you look at what's going on, with Sacramento, they look, it was a damn joke. They just the best culture they had. I don't know if Vlade is the GM. I'm gonna go check that out. I don't know if Vlade is even with the organization still. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm not a Sacramento Kings, fanatic. So I couldn't tell you off the rip who's the GM and all that stuff. But they got to figure it out. The GM, his name is Monty McNair. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna be hearing from Monty McNair later. So if you want to hear a report on that, make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports because we're gonna be bringing news on that. So it's just a wild situation. What's going on right now with the Sacramento Kings? We really just don't know how they're gonna be able to salvage this year. I really don't know. I don't. Somebody said this is big news. But who would the Heat give up to get Fox? I mean, hey man, I think the only thing you got to think about. We ain't moving unless we talking Tyler Hero. I think we start there. Tyler Hero just hit a game winner in Orlando. If I'm not, I don't know if it was Orlando. If I'm not mistaken, he just hit a game winner. I'd start there. And then we can go down to. They got my man. I forgot my man's name. The rookie that they drafted last year, Jaquez. Now you're talking about Hero, Jaquez. What you want, High Smith, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I don't know about Terry. If you want Terry to make the money work, but I don't think Terry is a long-term fit. I think if you move in with Miami, you want to go with Hero and you want to go with, Jaquez. You start there. If somebody says Tyler is untouched, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're gonna have to give up Tyler Hero, and I think you kind of giving up. I don't think you. It's a tough call where you go there. How much better are you with Fox over Tyler? I think that you become more dynamic. But Tyler, he been in that system, so Tyler might be ready to take a bigger step in Sacramento. You understand? But somebody said hot see, well, that's what I'm saying. They're not untouchable, man. We talking about De'Aaron Fox, man. You're gonna have to give up something. That's if I'm Sacramento. I'm talking them to we starting with Tyler and Jaquez, and then we'll figure everything else. From there we got to get the picks in order. But it's starting with them too, for Fox. You know what I mean? So it ain't gonna work. I guess it won't work. We're gonna have to move on to LA. If you're in LA, like I said, I like Austin Reeves. You start with Reeves. Rui Hachimura. Dalton Connect. That's where you go. Really, Reeves Connect. These are the two guys plus maybe the 3 first rounders. If you can get LA to give up all of them picks, knowing LA, they're gonna be slick. Just try to give up 2. Hold 1 for another major move, knowing LeBron. So I don't know how that may work out. But that's if you go into different teams, where we start. But I like that because you looking at a rebuild. And then you move on from Sabonis. Maybe somebody will get Sabonis. The Lakers don't need Sabonis. You're gonna get at least a first rounder for Sabonis at the minimum. Maybe 2, depending on the team. Whoever want to get Sabonis. Sabonis could fit into a multitude of places. Clearly he's not the number 1 option, like the Kings wanted to make him to be and all of that. It is what it is. Sammy says the Kings was the number 1 offense in the NBA and was balling a couple years ago, top 3 seed, etc. They just couldn't get out the first round. I was just saying that. That's why I just find it very ironic how Mike Brown could just be pushed out the door, so drastically, so quickly. I really think that's very troubling to me, in my humble opinion. We're gonna have to figure something out. Stacy says I'm calling in. It's crazy. We're gonna have to find out. It's major business what's going on right now with the Sacramento Kings. It's crazy. The Sacramento Kings have dismissed Mike Brown. They are moving on. Hopefully they look to move into greener pastures, but I just don't see that in their horizon. I just think they need to go get Cooper Flag, try to get Ace Bailey, at the very least get a top 5 pick. Sammy says Kings should have beat the Warriors that year. Yeah, but you putting Steph Curry, on the ropes. It's not going to be Curry going to come out swinging. I ain't going to lie, they was playing so damn fast too. But he won Coach of the Year. I think it's sad that he may not get another job for a while. He's gonna be sitting on the bench, next to Steve Kerr. I think that's the part that sucks, the most, that he got to sit next to Steve Kerr possibly. But at least he got another job sitting there waiting for him. Figure out, get himself situated, and I'm pretty sure he won another job. And with that Coach of the Year award, that's gonna bode well for him. That's gonna help him. I'm just gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. It's gonna help out big time. We just gotta figure things out. We really do. It's really crazy. We got Van Dive in the building. Was good.
Yeah, you said my name right, man. You said my
Yeah, I
name
did.
right.
It was good.
Yeah,
You been on the channel before?
yeah. I called him about like a week or 2 ago during the
Oh
whole
yeah.
Charlotte Hornets game.
Yeah,
So
let's talk about this, man. We got breaking news in the NBA, man. What's your thoughts on this situation? Mike
oh,
Brown, what the hell is going on?
okay. So just like you, I was a Kings fan too. I left the Kings. I was a diehard Kings fan. I'm talking about stayed up the doggone 2 o'clock in the morning watching games. I'm a big DeMarcus Cousins guy. Me being from Atlanta, played against DeMarcus, but originally from Alabama, so I know about him and everything. Knew his family and all that stuff. So DeMarcus Cousins might have been my favorite player ever in the history of the NBA. Probably him and Allen Iverson, Kevin Garnett, in that little bubble. But yeah, so I watched every game. So I know what was going on down there. I got the hell when they traded him, they traded me. They traded me. The moment they traded him, they traded me. So with that being said, I know the crazy stuff that was going on at the Kings. This owner doesn't know what he's doing. Vivek running Dive. He's not a good owner. You see, after Mike Malone left, Mike Malone gets a job with Denver, turns Sabonis. Turns a Jokic up. Jokic is now 3-time MVP, might be a 4-time MVP or whatever. So like same thing he was doing with DeMarcus Cousins. So like even with that whole aspect of looking at it like that, that Mike Malone getting put in that. I'm not Mike Malone, but this guy right here, Mike uh guy the coach of the Kings. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I was looking into what's going on with Vladdy. Vladdy doesn't have
Okay,
any. Vladdy don't have nothing to do with the Kings right now. That's what I'm saying. I
yeah,
don't,
that's cool.
he's not. Yeah,
That's
he's
cool. I'm
yeah. If
glad
I'm
he
not
got the hell on
mistaken.
too. I'm glad he got the
Hold
hell
on.
on
Wait a minute.
too.
Wait a minute. Says yeah. He who was most recently. Yeah, he was recently the vice president of basketball operations and general manager of Sacramento Kings. So he was recently. They saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's some
he's
crazy
not.
stuff.
Yeah. So he's not the president of the Kings anymore.
Yeah, you even when Vladdy was there, before Vladdy was there, they had a GM, and the owner drafted Nick Stauskas. But why even draft Nick Stauskas when you had just drafted Ben McLemore, and then this is
Yeah.
when Klay
Yo,
Thompson was
yo,
coming into the league,
Ben McLemore was all right. Yo, I ain't gonna front. That was my
right?
dude. So back in the day, Paulus. Go
And
ahead.
they they didn't build them right. They didn't use them right. You know what I mean? When Mike Malone was there, Ben McLemore was playing good. But when they had fired Mike Malone. Then they turned around and fired the interim coach, Jock Vaughn. If I not Jock Vaughn, but it's one of them guys. And DeMarcus went off on them for firing him. They said he didn't give that man a chance. And then they hired George Karl, who's an awful coach. You know what I mean? He was good in the '90s, but he wasn't gonna fit, and he just tried to turn everybody into something they wasn't. And I remember we started benching Ben McLemore before Nick Stockton. Nick Stockton couldn't hit a shot. He couldn't play. He was out of the league before you even knew it. But like C.J. McCollum had came into the league, they didn't draft C.J. McCollum. Devin Booker came into the league, they didn't draft Devin Booker. I'm talking about all these players was getting picked right after, like right after. I remember one year they drafted Jimmer for that. They drafted Jimmer for that. It was crazy the stuff they do. Um, with that being said, like so, and like we're even having De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox was their best pick after DeMarcus Cousins. He was their best pick. They lucked up with Keegan Murray. Um, um, what's the name? Sabonis. It was a good trade for them. That worked out. Yes, they were number one offense in the league this prior year. They were number one offense in the league, bro. Um, with that being said, this when you're talking about who could trade for them, I will be shocked if they accept the trade from the Lakers. Why? Because the Lakers are the big guys in that division. Suns is away. Suns is the best team in the division now, but the Lakers are the big boys. You will never see a Clippers to the Lakers trade. You will never see a Suns to a Lakers trade. You will never see go to State to the Lakers trade. You will never see the Kings to the Lakers trade. So I'm not even optimistic about the Lakers getting them. I'm not even gonna just like tamper with it because it's like the number's 34. You gotta be somewhere close to 34 or whatever. 34 mil just to get him. And who is that? Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves make 12? Do you know Austin Reeves numbers? Like
Yeah, I got Austin Reeves numbers. Give me 10 seconds. I
yeah.
got
Pull
you
up
right
their whole
now.
cap
There's
table.
nothing. I got you. No problem. We're on the way. Austin Reeves stats for this season, ladies and gentlemen. Austin Reeves, AR 15. We're gonna get into it.
What I need is the whole cap
He's
hit.
averaging.
I need
Oh, what'd
what's
you
his
say?
cap hit? His cap hit. Go to spottrack.com and go to see his whole cap table. You can pull up the Lakers' whole cap table. Spot
Uh,
track Lakers. Let me see. I'm gonna see
yeah,
how. I'm
let's
show you
see.
how you do. Shit just works.
I'm gonna pull up his stats for right now. I know last game he put up 26. He's averaging 17 points this season. Shooting 43% from the field, 35% from three, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal. You know, like I said, I would take Austin Reeves in the trade for De'Aaron Fox. You know, if I'm LA, you know, I would move Austin Reeves.
It's not gonna work.
What do you mean?
It's not
There's
gonna
more
work.
people though. I mean, it's more players. Like I said, I like
Yeah.
what's the name
Rui.
too? The rookie they just drafted. He got to go. If you're talking Fox, I don't even know if Fox worth all this though. But I would move.
Yes,
I would
he's
trade
worth
all
it,
this for Trey Young.
He's worth it, bro.
Who,
A lot of that can work. Yeah, Fox is fire, bro.
I bet. Who better him? Who would you? Who you can't get? I don't think Trey Young is available. But who would you take, Fox or Trey Young?
I'm gonna take Fox because
Oh
Fox
no,
is
you
physical.
wilding. You wilding.
Fox is physical. I want to be a two-way team. I know Trey gonna get them buckets, and he the best playmaker out of
Wilding.
all the point guards in the NBA. Out of all the point guards in the NBA, Trey the best playmaker. But he's not gonna give you anything defensively. That's why they went and got Dice this year. That's why they went and got Dyson, and Dyson is showing up for them. So I want a two. For me, my preference is a two-way team. And I want a two-way guard. I want to, even if I got to take something down off his offensive, just to have so much on defense. Trey a dog on defense. Not Trey, but Deaaron a dog on defense. He ain't just like go out there. Plus, he faster than him. He more physical than him. He more athletic than him. But when it comes down to playmaking and making offense work, Trey got him. But when it comes down to a whole game, championship game, it's Deaaron. It's Deaaron. Does anybody in the chat agree with me when I say that?
I don't know. Since I'm what most teams would want Fox over Trey. Somebody said most teams. I would take Trey. I'm sorry. Maybe because I
Well,
seen Trey in the playoffs do it. You know, he went to the conference finals. You know,
yeah,
with
he'll
Atlanta.
be
You know, I
the,
never seen
the highlight.
Fox. I never seen Fox. You know, do much of that. You know, I just didn't see
He
it.
did it with he be going down to the wire. He took
Golden
what's the other
State,
team? He
the
took
seven.
Golden State to the wire. Yeah, like
Was it 7 or 6?
he took the Kings further than anybody's taken the Kings since Chris Webber,
Did they go
and
7
that's
or
why that
6
might
that
be.
series? Did they go 7 or 6? You remember?
Somebody got to tell me. Somebody got to tell me that. De'Aaron is a hot prospect, dog, and I don't think he's getting traded until the summer. I really don't. I think people need to drop the optimism of it. Now, I believe Brooklyn can come into
About the Rich Paul dynamic.
it. Rich is not just gonna. Now, if these people up there, I don't know this GM at the Kings. If he gets punked out by Rich Paul, that's on him. You know what I'm saying? You already got the coach fired, so if you get the coach. I think firing Mike was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I give you this, but I can't trade you. That's what that seemed like it is to me. And see, they chose De'Aaron over Mike. That's what that seems like. Because I know they can't move him. I know the best way they can move him is people like Brooklyn who got 4 draft picks, 4 first rounders, and they can trade for him, but they're still in rebuild mode. But if you get a Cooper Flag or you get a superstar out of draft and get him and turn around and get Michael Porter Jr. or something like that, or Zach LaVine to go with it, that's already a star team because Brooklyn has the money and cap space to do that. Or they could send Claxton down to the Kings for him or whatever. Then when you talk about San Antonio just not going to work until the end of the year because Chris Paul is there. They don't have a point guard situation. They don't have a bad point guard situation. They guards are good. Stephon Castle, Paul, and Jones. That's some real good guards. They have a problem with their wings. Vessel, he shoots too much. He's not going to really just beat everybody, but he can score real good. He a two-way player too. And then Keldon Johnson he's not going to get any better than what he is. So San Antonio really not in that conversation because they don't have a guard issue until the end of the year. I really went through my whole files in my head knowing every single player's cap number, that I care for, every single player cap number that, and I can't find a trade for De'Aaron Fox. I can't find one.
Oh,
Sabonis,
you doing like the trade, like the way you do the trades and shit?
yeah, and financially and where they go to first apron, second apron. I know all of that
I
stuff
mean,
in the
you
top of
don't
my
think
head.
you don't think a third team gonna get involved?
Yeah, third team can get involved, but
Yeah, that's why I said there's ways to work this shit out now.
yeah, but what are the Lakers willing to give up to make a third
Well,
team involved?
listen,
And then,
I just heard the other day that they got three first rounders. You know,
mhm,
like I said, Reeves just hit that big shot. I would move Reeves. I would move, like
uh-huh.
I said, Dalton. You
But
want
but
Max Christie.
but Flat,
You know,
yeah, they probably would take Max because his
that's what I'm
dad over there.
saying.
But
That we got the
but
Lakers
but,
got
but Flight,
something.
but Flight, be real with
That
yourself.
Dalton Connect was all
Be
right.
honest
That
with
was a good pickup.
be honest with yourself. If the Sacramento Kings were the Brooklyn Kings, or if they were the Philadelphia Kings, it'd be different. The Sacramento Kings is the Sacramento Kings, and that's the LA Lakers. Same division. Are you gonna? You tell me if I'm gonna give you my best
Listen,
player.
they got to give
Am
up.
I ever
No,
gonna say
listen, they got to do what the Knicks did. The Knicks gave up all the picks. If they really think Fox is their guy, you're gonna give up all three of them. You understand? Yo,
but,
don't
but,
give up
but,
everything. Don't go to Sacramento with. We're gonna start off with two. You know, no, just
uh-huh.
go. You give up everything in your arsenal.
Okay. So there is. You just gave me a good example of it. That's true. Brooklyn just gave it up to the New York Knicks. They did just give up they best player to the New York Knicks, and they did get. That's why Brooklyn has so much ammo right now, because they gave up Bridges, and they got all these picks from the Knicks, and they got that. But also, with that being said too, when we talk about what the Knicks did and how they made these moves happen, you got to think about it. Jalen Brunson took a cap, like he didn't take the supermax. Jalen Brunson only making 25 million this year. He don't make the max money that he want. He could make. Jalen Brunson was up to 40 supermax. He would have been a supermax player off of what the season he had last year. Nobody on Lakers did that. LeBron, $40 million man. Doggone LeBron at what, 42 or 44? Something like that. 49 maybe. Is LeBron at 49? Makes $49 million. And then what's it called making 44?
But
Uh
motherfuckers getting money.
yeah, yeah. See, that's the difference between what's going on with the Knicks. But at the same time, you did that is a good example. Brooklyn just traded to the Knicks. They are in the same division. But at the same time, nobody's gonna be trading with the Lakers in their division. It's not gonna happen. I'm being real with myself about that. I think they can trade to a Western Conference team. They just can't trade to the same teams in their division. Not for no superstar. Not for that. No.
Okay, I got another question. If you the
Uh-huh.
Sacramento Kings, right? Let's say you not looking to rebuild. Let's say you want to salvage the season, you want to salvage these
Uh-huh.
pieces. What coach do you bring in? Who the hell do you bring in? Would it be a young guy? Would it be a veteran? And if it's a veteran, who?
Well, knowing what we know with Big Vac running D-Vac, he is gonna go veteran. He's gonna go a notable guy. Like, we have only seen that. We only seen he only gave.
Another thing, I don't mean to cut you off. Vlade Divac is not a part of the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, I know. He
Yeah, he's not. I know
was.
he was there forever. You know, he just recently is gone, but they have a new guy. His name is Monty McNair.
I
He
don't know
is the
nothing
general
about him.
manager and he the president of the basketball operations. Monty McNair. I don't know who the
I
hell
never
this
even heard
guy
of him.
even is, but that's
I
the
never heard
GM.
of him, bro.
I'm gonna look at the
I never
Kings
heard of
owner.
him.
The Kings owner, his name. Oh, Vivac. Is that the name you said?
Yeah, Big Vac running D-Vac. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you know what? I apologize. Vlade Divac is not a part of it, but you are absolutely right. Right. Pardon me. Vivac Ranadive is the guy. I don't know
Yeah.
much about him, but you probably know more
I
about him. I
know
know who he
everything
is.
about him. Multi-billionaire. Used to be a part owner of the Golden State Warriors. He's Indian. He was the first diverse owner of the NBA besides Michael Jordan. He don't know nothing about basketball. To be honest with you, he didn't just fire Mike Malone for ruining games. He fired Mike Malone because they went. He was telling Mike Malone to be to play 4 on defense and 5 on offense. He was telling them to cherry pick with somebody, and Mike Malone wouldn't do it. And then he hijacked some drafts from Mike Malone. That's how you get Stauskas, and that's how you get the way the whole thing started was the Maloofs was trying to move the Kings to the Vegas, the Maloof brothers. They were trying to move the Kings to Vegas. Um, um, uh, what's his name? Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson used to be the point guard of the Suns. Is actually the mayor of Sacramento, and he was like, "No, don't take our team away from us." And he had to find an owner, so he found the vet runner Dive, and Maloof sold it to him. The man don't know nothing about basketball. That's what was going on. You telling me you got DeMarcus Cousins and you draft Willie Cauley-Steins? Like you got a high draft pick and you gonna draft Willie Cauley-Steins?
Yeah, you know, because they was acting like they was trying to get rid of him. You know, it was bad.
They want right. It didn't want to pull the trigger.
But
like
you couldn't get rid of him. Every time you wanted to get rid of him, this motherfucker got better.
You got 50. He'll hit 55, and then hit 56 the next game. Like destroying people, boy. Like, oh, okay, we trying to trade him. Next thing you know, he's shooting threes. Dang, we can't stop him in the post.
Let me tell you something, man. I remember very vividly. I was at some restaurant, right? I was watching DeMarcus play with the Kings. I mean, I was watching him a lot, but this time I happened to be out and he was on the big screen. Yo, this motherfucker was balling. Yo, this dude, he was doing everything. Yo, I turned to somebody I was with and I said, yo, it's so crazy. I'm starting to think, yo, is DeMarcus Cousins the best player in the world? You know, I mean, that dude was doing everything. I literally told somebody that. I said, yo, I think DeMarcus might be the best player in the world.
He was, bro. And nobody ever talk about it. He was the best player in the world because at the time the center position was dead. It had the only centers was in the league was Al Jefferson, and he came and took over Al Jefferson's spot because the center position became just run to the basket like Dwight Howard, and that was it. That was it. Like you didn't have centers that did anything, especially in scoring those 20 points. They weren't getting 20 points at the time, bro. Center position was dying. It was dead. There was only like 2 or 3 of them in the league. And
pay homage to DeMarcus Cousins, how he was balling. I might have to do your homework. Shout out Sky in the building. I see
bro,
Sky.
Bro, he was playing point guard.
Nah, man, I gotta get. That's how good he was playing at the time. I just had to. It was a game. I said, yo, I had to pay homage.
No, Sacramento wasn't in a game if he didn't play, bro. Before they got Rondo, they wasn't in the game, bro.
Yeah, he was really the MVP. He was in the West too. The West was so bad. You know,
bro, if you go look at it,
so good he couldn't do nothing. It was gonna be horrendous anyway.
Bro, and you know what's so crazy? Even thinking about that, bro. You remember they had DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin at the Clippers at the time. Yeah. You remember that?
Of course.
He destroyed them, boy. He would destroy them.
He destroyed Embiid.
Destroyed Embiid.
The game where he annihilated Joel Embiid, and he said it was a post-game interview. He said, "Man, they asked him, what do you think about Joel Embiid?" He said, "Man, I think he's gonna be one of the best big men in the league once I retire." He said something like that. He said something slick.
That's exactly what he said.
He beat Embiid, but they was going at it. And he got the best of Embiid. This is how good he was. Like people really, when he tore his what the hell happened? The Achilles.
So what happened with the Achilles
injury ever? Yeah, I feel so sorry for DeMarcus Cousins, man. His career. Man.
What happened with the Achilles was
he should go in the Hall of Fame, like honorary, like for real. I mean, seriously, he was on that trajectory of having that career. You know what I mean? He really screwed up right before it could really take off. You know, seriously.
The thing was Alvin Gentry. I think Rondo was hurt, and Alvin Gentry did not want to use Drew as a point guard because really Drew is not the point guard. Drew is a point guard defender. He's not a playmaker, and it's still like that to the day. Like you know what I'm saying. You see, Jason Tatum was the one who bring the ball down the court. Same thing with Giannis. He wanted when Drew was with Bucks. Giannis brought the ball down court, and he'll be the point guard playmaker. Drew is like a lockdown defender, and he can stand in the corner. He can shoot threes. He can stand all around the perimeter. He also posts the ball. He's more of a wing than he is a point guard or whatever. So at that Pelicans team,
Listen, man,
DeMarcus
they would have
was
had.
running point guard.
Oh
He
my
was running point.
Can I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna make what I don't care what the hell you want to call it, a hot take or what. Yo, if they would have had a healthy DeMarcus Cousins, they would have beat the Golden State Warriors that year when New Orleans went to the playoffs and when
They
they
was on a
eliminated
10-game win
when they
streak.
knocked out CJ and Dame and them. They just shitted on CJ and Dame. They did them dirty, And then they went up against Golden State, but Golden State, they didn't even have KD at the time. But if you had, and AD was on another level, and you had Rondo and Drew. If you would have had a healthy,
they had KD that year.
That would have just
they had KD.
He would have took out Draymond Green. Anything Draymond was thinking, it would have been over with. If you would have had a healthy DeMarcus Cousins.
They had KD, but KD wouldn't know how to do it, DeMarcus Cousins. He's too big for him.
You sure KD was on the roster that year?
Yeah, Drew had to guard KD. Remember, Drew was giving KD problems, like when KD had to post him up.
I wasn't 100% sure. Well, I don't know with KD, but
KD
juggernaut.
Because what you would have did was you would have put Anthony Davis on KD on defense on offense and everything on defense or whatever. Then you would have put KD would have had to guard DeMarcus, or Draymond would have had to guard DeMarcus, and DeMarcus would have gave him a problem, bro. He was too much of a problem because that's too much height. Like even though Draymond is a Hall of Fame defender, once in a lifetime defender and everything, DeMarcus is too big, too fast, too skilled for him. But then KD tall, but KD is not big enough for DeMarcus. And you saw that in the practices when they would practice each other when they was at Golden State together and everything. Man, that man doggone, what's his name? The GM for the New Orleans Pelicans messed that whole thing up, bro. He's the worst GM ever. And then now the Pelicans got the second worst GM ever. David Griffin is awful, bro. David Griffin awful. He's sorry, bro. But long story short, we got on talking about. See, this is what happens when you're talking about this man getting fired today, Mike getting fired today. It makes you go back through the whole history of the Kings of what's going on. You feel me? Like, it makes you think about all of that. It makes you think about all of that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they got to figure it out. I mean, the Kings got an uphill battle to get. I just don't know. I mean, what would you do? Would you let go of Fox and start the rebuild? Let go of Sabonis, get the picks in. You got Keegan there.
I'll wait till the draft because we'll know everybody else's cap space and what else got everybody needs. That's the thing. I wouldn't do it now because everybody don't have the cap space to take him. He wants to go to a winning team, but then I want winning players back, plus the draft picks. I would want to have all my homework on every draft.
They're saying it's a deep draft. They're saying it's a deep draft.
And I would want to see who fits me best and who gonna give me the best situation. That's why, and that's some people I want to see move now. Like I can see Brandon Ingram going to the Thunder. I can see Zion to the Hornets. I can see
that'll be OD. That'll be overdoing shit.
I can see Michael Porter Jr. I can see Michael Porter Jr. going to either the Bulls or the Brooklyn Nets or something like that. And the Brooklyn Nets sending Cam Johnson over there to help kind of replace the Michael Porter Jr. production, but then turn around and get it for a cheaper price with Cam Johnson. With Cam Johnson only making like $22 million, stuff like that. Or Kyle Kuzma going to San Antonio over there for Keldon Johnson or something like that. Like, I can see that type of stuff happening, but I cannot see no trade for De'Aaron Fox right now until the end of the season. I have to see what everybody got in their cap space, and I have to see where these draft picks fall for De'Aaron Fox. The guard situation, like this year, everybody wants wings right now. Everybody hurting at wings or centers. So De'Aaron Fox, like they're not hurting at guard. They're hurting at wings and centers. So I don't see where De'Aaron Fox can go, and you get what you want back. Basically, you can trade him, but you're not gonna get what you want back for the Kings. You know what I mean? And Sabonis, he can't go. I can't trade Sabonis.
But if
No,
you move
centers are
Fox,
too
you can
valuable.
move Sabonis too. Sabonis gonna want
No,
to go to a championship team too.
Sabonis is too far. The centers are too valuable, bro. Even Walker Kessler is good, but he ain't elite. Elite. He's not even more elite than any other 24-year-old center. Um, he's not more elite than 24-year-old centers that's in that same age range, 24 and under. You know what I'm saying? He's probably the last place on that list with like with Mark Williams and Wemby and all them other guys that's young centers. You know what I'm saying? He probably the last guy on that list, and he can play. No disrespect to Walker Kessler, he really is. He can play. He can block shots. He can shoot threes. He really good. He don't set picks well, but he can really play. But his value's so high because he's a center. You get you a center under the age of 25 years old, that's a steal. Like, you know what I mean? So with Sabonis being leading the league in rebounds for the last 3 years, you know what I'm saying? He led the league in rebounds. He's going on his fourth year leading the league in rebounds. I don't think he leading it this year, but he's on his fourth year. If he wins it this year, he'll be 4 years straight of leading the league in offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds, bro. And you know he's a problem. He's physical. He scores the best up under the goal. He's gonna dunk on you. He can shoot the three on you. All of that stuff, bro. Sabonis like no. You have to give me if I'm gonna trade Sabonis, you gotta give me KD. Like it got to be somebody like that for Sabonis for a center. Come on, bro. You gotta give me some of your best players, bro.
Come on. The Kings are having a bad year. You're gonna get KD.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just talking about just any elite player like that. You gotta give me your best to get Sabonis, because Sabonis in that same conversation. Because the center is so valuable compared to anything. If you ever watch the Kings game, every single play runs through Sabonis. Every play. He's setting the pick here. He's setting the pick there. There's even something called the Sabonis screen, where he's setting the pick in the middle of the paint. Made that whole thing up off of him, bro. It's not happening. Like, OKC can get him. OKC got 4 first-round draft picks, bro. They can get him if they want him. But I'm not giving him. He's untouchable. And I definitely had to call him about the Tyler Hero thing. So that can happen to the Heat. The Heat had to give up a lot of first-round draft picks, and they would have to give up.
Happen. That's what I'm saying. Tyler Hero gonna be the center.
No, it won't be Tyler. It will be Terry Rozier, because Terry Rozier is.
I throw his ass in there just to make the money work.
Yeah. So I would give up Terry. I would give up Terry Rozier. I would give up Highsmith. I would give up the center that they just drafted that I know they want to keep, because they keep on sending them down to the G League. They keep on develop and everything. Oh boy, from originally from Arkansas, but he went to Indiana. But I would get and then they had to give up Duncan Robinson, and that's still a good steal, because Duncan Robinson don't miss nothing. Duncan Robinson can shoot, boy. He can shoot. So you give up all that just to get one player. It'll be a good fit, but you know, and he actually is a Heat. De'Aaron Fox actually is a Heat, bro. Like, he really do play like a Heat. He act like, you know what I'm saying, something Pat Riley would love. Two-way player, straight up dog. It would be a good fit. It just, you know, and if you do that, you would have had to have traded Jimmy Butler already, because once Jimmy Butler's traded, all that cap space is wide open. You can take on some stuff. Meaning even next year when he see De'Aaron Fox cap space go up to 37 next year, and when it go up to 37, which is not bad, definitely not bad for a superstar. You'll have enough cap space to re-sign him, and then you'll be able to re-sign him for a long term. You can give him 40 or 50 million if he play good, because he come down to that Southwest division. I mean, the Southeast division. He come down to that division. Name a better point guard than him, LaMelo, and that's it. And Trey, like, he'll be one of the best point guards in the East. Trey can't guard him.
Yep.
Trey can't guard. Yeah, Trey can't guard him. Like LaMelo wouldn't guard him. That's the problem with the Hornets right now. Is because they don't have a small guy right now. Like they got Brandon Miller playing the 2, and Brandon can't keep up with the small guy. He getting tired. He can't even play good on offense because he got to play on a small guy.
Well, we do got LaMelo here. I mean, he got to do a whole lot. I mean, he is defending. I mean, is he supposed to be?
No, it's not. It's not LaMelo. No. What they want to do, what I would do if I'm the Hornet, right? What I would do is, first of all, I love like Trey Mann needs to come back. You can clearly see that the bench ain't the same without Trey Mann and Grant Williams. You can clearly see that. You know, they don't even put up points. The way they bench played early in the fourth quarter last night was really good. Boston can't keep up with nobody.
They completely pissed that game off.
Real talk, bro. Real talk, bro.
That alley-oop to Williams should have sealed it. Like I said, they had somebody.
Josh Green got knocked down his free throws. He got knocked down his free throws. He got knocked down his free throws. He got knocked down his free throws. That's it. The game is closed. You knock down your free throws. But the problem they have against faster people is like, you know, Brandon needed to be playing the 3. It was a good experiment for him to be at a 2. It's just the way basketball is. See, if he was in the 90s, he would be a 2, a 6'7", you know what I'm saying, 2 guard. That's what all the 2 guards were. Allen Iverson was the only small guy. You know what I mean? If it was 90s, early 2000s. But in today's basketball, he'll be better off as a wing and guarding wings too. LaMelo will be better off guarding wings because he's 6'7". Trey Mann is very much missed. And if I were them, I would go after another guard in that same mode, like his brother, Lonzo. Lonzo's 6'6", but he's so quick. He be on them doggone small guys, bro. You know what I mean? You gotta think like that when you're putting together a team. How important those small guys off the bench. How important Lou Williams is off the bench. How important just anybody to match up with those small. De'Aaron Fox is so fast. He's the fastest player in the NBA, bro. The fastest player in the NBA. If he come down to the Heat, shoot, bro. It's the same thing if he was at the Lakers. What? Yeah. I'm on the podcast. Yeah, that's my brother, bro. He know basketball too. He down to the T. Just say it. Real quick. Mike Brown got fired today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He said, I saw that. He saw it. Yo. When you get a chance to get on YouTube, look up Flight Sports TV stat. Subscribe to them.
Yeah, most definitely. Shit. Hit me up on the IG too.
You got IG as well? Yeah, I barely on I get on my Facebook and everything, but I'll go ahead
I'm on Facebook. So you probably could put it in the private chat. I got my Facebook is not under Flight Sports, so it's like a personal. But if that's what
you're doing a good job, Mike. You're doing a good job, bro. Keep it grinding going. Ain't there some games that come on now?
No, I'm about to get ready for this Knicks game. But I'm about to pull back up. I was gonna hit you up on something else to talk to you about some other stuff.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go or you hit me.
You gotta hit
in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the private chat, or if you want to hit me. You say you don't use IG, you can hit me on Flight Sports.
No, this my Facebook, bro.
Let's drop it in the private chat.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to all y'all, man. It's been breaking news, man, on Mike Brown. We got major business. We're gonna get back with you, but yeah, Stacy, we're gonna pull back up. I'm gonna get your information so we link back up. And get the people what the people want. Salute to all y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. We got more lives coming. Who the hell knows? We're gonna be picking things up. It's Flight Sports TV. We back at it. You already know what it is.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.